Imagine waking up one day and realizing that a single forgotten law, written more than a century ago, could completely change your life.
A law so old that most Americans don't even know it exists, and yet so powerful that if used today, it could protect you, free you, or even open the door to an opportunity you never thought you'd have.
This isn't fiction. This is the real story of one man who stumbled onto a forgotten American law and used it to turn his life around in a way no one saw coming. The story starts in a quiet town in Missouri, where 21-year-old Daniel Hayes lived a life that felt stuck on pause. He worked long hours at a local factory. He barely earned enough to cover rent, and every night he walked home with the same heavy thoughts circling in his mind. Is this it?
Is this all I'm ever going to be? Daniel wanted more.
Since childhood, he'd dreamed of working with technology, maybe even starting his own repair business. He loved the idea of fixing things, phones or old radios, broken cameras, anything with wires and stubborn screws. But dreams require money, and Daniel felt like every door in front of him stayed locked no matter how hard he knocked. One rainy evening, he sat outside the factory after another exhausting shift. His shirt was soaked, his lunchbox dented from the long drop he'd taken earlier, and his paycheck felt like an insult after a week of backbreaking work. That night, he felt something he hadn't felt in years, the kind of frustration that pushes a person to search for answers they've never considered before. So Daniel did what many desperate people do. He Googled everything: grants, benefits, legal rights, forgotten programs. He didn't even know what he was looking for. He just typed whatever came to mind. He dug through obscure forums, scanned old government pages, clicked links that looked suspicious, and ended up reading articles written by people who definitely didn't know grammar. But one link stopped him cold. It was a reference to an old federal statute from the early 1900s, a law preserved through multiple legal reforms.
A law that still existed, but almost no one used.
A law originally designed to help struggling Americans escape poverty by providing a path to skilled work at little to no cost. A law that allowed citizens to request government-funded training programs if they could prove financial hardship and a clear career goal. It was called the Smith-Foster Vocational Assistance Act of 1911. And yes, it was still technically active. Daniel read the description 3 times.
It didn't sound real. Free training.
Government-backed, guaranteed placement opportunities.
And available to anyone who could show proof of need?
He laughed at first, assuming the link was outdated clickbait. But something about it wouldn't let him go, so he dug deeper. He searched law databases, archives, cross-references, legal blogs, and discussion threads. The more he researched, the more he realized it wasn't a rumor. The law existed, forgotten, ignored, dusty, but still there. And for the first time in a long time, Daniel felt something rise inside him. Hope. The next day, instead of going home after work, he went to the local public library. He printed out every document related to the law. He filled a table with stacks of paper, highlighters, and a determination he hadn't felt in years. He stayed until closing, and the next day, he returned.
And the next, and the next?
By Friday, he knew everything there was to know about the forgotten law. And he knew he qualified. He submitted the paperwork. What happened next changed everything. 2 weeks later, Daniel received a letter from a federal vocational office in Kansas City. It wasn't a rejection. It wasn't a request for more documents. It was an approval. He stared at the letter with disbelief. His heart raced. His hands shook. He'd been accepted into a fully funded, government-approved technical training program. They would cover tuition, books, equipment, transportation, and even give him a modest monthly living allowance during training. His life turned on a dime. The factory became his past. Opportunity became his future. The training program wasn't easy. It demanded everything from him. Early mornings, long nights, deadlines, and constant exams. Many students dropped out within weeks. But Daniel had something the others didn't have. He knew how rare this chance was. He knew what it meant to someone who had spent years feeling invisible. He worked harder than he ever had. He studied until his eyes burned. He practiced until his hands cramped. And slowly, something incredible happened.
He got good, really good.
His instructors noticed his dedication. His classmates respected his work ethic. He became the person people asked for help. The person who stayed after class to fix someone's broken project. The quiet guy in the corner who suddenly had a spark people couldn't ignore. 6 months later, he graduated at the top of his class. And the opportunities didn't stop there. Thanks to the placement program written into the old law, he connected with a local tech repair company looking for new technicians. They hired him within a week. He learned the business inside and out. He saved every dollar he could. And then, 1 year later, he did something he'd only ever dreamed about. He opened his own repair shop. It was small at first. Barely more than a single room with a wooden counter and a single neon sign he bought secondhand. But people came and they kept coming. Word spread. Daniel's reputation grew. His work was fast, honest, and affordable. In 2 years, he opened a second location. In 4 years, a third. By year 6, he had a thriving business that employed 7 people from his hometown.
People who, just like him, wanted a second chance.
His shop became more than a business. It became a symbol, a reminder that sometimes the world expects you to stay where you are, but you don't have to, all because he found a law no one remembered, a law still active, a law meant to help people like him rise. Years later, Daniel shared his story at a local community event. People were shocked, inspired, some even emotional. A law that old, forgotten by most Americans, had changed one man's life completely. But Daniel didn't take credit. He simply said, "I wasn't special.
I was just tired of feeling stuck."
And I realized something important.
Opportunity doesn't always find you.
Sometimes you have to dig for it. Sometimes you have to search for the thing everyone else has overlooked. His story spread. People began researching the same law. A few applied, some got approved. Others discovered different programs, grants, and rights they never knew existed. And that was the real lesson Daniel left behind. Sometimes your biggest breakthrough isn't a new idea. Sometimes it's an old one that was waiting for someone determined enough to find it. Sometimes your future is hidden in a place nobody thinks to look. The forgotten law still exists today. But the real question is, how many more laws, opportunities, and rights are we passing by every day without even knowing they're there? Maybe the thing that changes your life isn't something new. Maybe it's something forgotten, waiting for you to uncover it. If Daniel's story teaches us anything, it's this. Don't wait for doors to open. Go searching. Dig into your rights, your options, your opportunities. Somewhere out there is a path you've never heard of, one that could shift everything in your future. Before you give up on your dreams, give yourself the chance to discover what others haven't noticed yet. Start today, because the world doesn't reward the person who waits. It rewards the person who tries.